You can spend a ton of money buying herbal tea blends when you could go in your backyard and discover some of the amazing things you might have growing that will make fantastic herbal teas. Today, we're going to talk about mulberry leaves. Hey Provident gardeners, I'm Kylene and welcome to my garden. Today, this video is part of the Jar It Up July collaboration, and I am thrilled to be a part. So when we talk about preserving or jarring it up, there are all kinds of different things that we want to preserve. One of the unique things that I like to preserve is mulberry leaves. I know, you're thinking this lady is crazy, but mulberry leaves make an incredible tea that I'm very fond of, but you can also use them in smoothies and frittatas and soups and all kinds of different culinary uses. So look it up. But today we're going to talk about how to harvest them, which actually is super easy. All you got to do, look for leaves that aren't diseased. They're better when they're young, I think, but some of the medicinal properties actually increase when they're older. But the younger leaves are better for cooking, and I think the taste is milder. But that's all you have to do. You just clip off the leaf off the tree and take it inside, and I'll show you how we're going to preserve it. By taking the time to preserve these leaves now, it means that throughout the year, when this tree is dormant and there's snow on the ground, I'm still going to be able to enjoy the bounty because I took the time to jar it up. Welcome to my kitchen, where we take what we're growing in the garden and turn it into incredibly delicious edible foods. And today it's all about Jar It Up July. And I want to give a shout out to Chris at City Girl Homesteading and Angela at the Inquisitive Farm Wife, and thank them for inviting us to participate in this collaboration. I love it when we can gather together and exchange ideas and just come up with really cool things. This video on mulberry leaves is actually my first in a series of videos where I talk about teas because I love herbal teas. I drink a lot of herbal teas. In fact, did you know that in the blue zones where people live to over 100 years old, they have found that a common thread is the drinking of herbal teas? Interesting. Now, they don't think it's any specific leaf or flower that they're drinking in their tea, but the polyphenols and the ritual that comes from drinking tea. I thought that was really interesting. Now, we are talking about teas, but before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about the mulberry leaves. So super, super high in nutrition and all kinds of fabulous things that we should eat. But not only can I dry these and make them into a fabulous tea, but these are good in soups and frittatas and anything that you can use a green. You can even cut them fresh and use them in salads, but I'd only use the young ones. I wouldn't use the old one in a salad because they're kind of tough. But the older ones actually sometimes are better for teas because they accumulate some of the really good nutrients that we want. But for the most part, I tend to stick with the young leaves. But don't think that these are just for tea. So why mulberry leaves? They are abundant. The tree that I was out with today, that's only a, I think, 2-year-old tree. The trees get huge. They get 40 feet and they produce the delicious mulberries, which are a great trap tree to keep birds and stuff from eating the other fruit in your garden. But they're also great for like fodder. If you plant one in with your chickens, like where mine is, the mulberries can fall to the ground and then it's fodder for your chickens, and then your eggs are healthier. The flavor of mulberry leaves is really mild and a little bit sweet. It's not bitter like a lot of the other teas, and maybe that's why it's my favorite. But it tastes a little bit like sweet peas and sunflower and maybe a little toasted sesame in there. It's a very unique flavor. So if you haven't tried mulberry leaves, now is the time. In addition to the nutritional benefits of mulberry leaves, they have some medicinal benefits, including the fact that they're an anti-inflammatory. They may help with the heart and reducing cholesterol. In Chinese medicine, they used it for respiratory health and overall wellness. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a mom, but I'm incorporating mulberry leaves into our daily diet and into my tea regimen. Now let's talk about preserving the mulberry leaves. You can just preserve them raw. I always wash them first. You can air dry them. And once they're dry and crumbly, they've got to be all the way dry, you can just crumble them and put them into a jar, vacuum seal them. If you air dry them, they're not going to last a really long period of time, about a year. One of the things that I like to do before I preserve them is to steam them just for 90 seconds, just quick steam. And then I'll plunge them right into icy cold water. As soon as you pick that mulberry leaf, it's gonna start to break down. So we want to, harvest it and do this as quickly as possible. I like to harvest in the morning after most of the dew is gone so that they're dry, and then get busy on this right away. Let me show you what I have here. These are dried mulberry leaves. So I steamed them, plunged them into the cold water. I take those wet leaves and I spread them out on the dehydrator tray, set it for 113 degrees, walk away, and it takes 6 or 7 hours. And then this is how they turn out. These are beautiful, right? They're nice and dark. This is the freeze dried. Can you see the color difference between the dried and the freeze dried? My preference is the freeze drying. I think the flavor's better. It will take this dried mulberry leaves. It'll be good in this jar for a year or two, but it just doesn't last as long. It's not gonna go bad. It just is less and less potent, should we say? But the freeze dried will stay good in this jar for a really, really long time, like 10, 15 years or so. And the flavor is more like fresh. So I really like the freeze dried. It takes longer. It takes a freeze dryer to be able to do that. It's important to preserve it correctly in the mason jar. The mason jar is the first step to making sure that you have an airtight environment. I like to both use an oxygen absorber and vacuum seal it. By doing that, I ensure that my seal is good and there is tiny, teeny, teeny, teeny amount of oxygen in here, which means that it's not gonna oxidize, which ruins the flavor. It'll keep those essential oils in there, which I really love. So if you're gonna go spend all the time to preserve it, take one more step and at least vacuum seal it to make sure that it's gonna stay good on the shelf significantly longer. One of the experiments that I did is this is freeze-dried fresh mulberry leaves. So I didn't steam them. These, I did steam them. And what I'm excited to do is taste the difference in the tea. And I haven't done that experiment yet, but part of this is all experimenting and seeing what you like and what you don't like. If there's one thing I could encourage you to do, it's to try. You might not like some of the stuff that you try, but some of it, like the mulberry leaves, you might absolutely love. Now, my daily ritual is I make a pot of tea in this every morning. When I make my tea, I make sure that I use good water, clean water, and this takes it to 212 degrees, which means that any pathogens that are in it have been killed. And then I just take, I just take my mulberry leaves or whatever tea I want, put it in here. Sometimes I'll take a little spoon just to make sure that everything is submerged. Now this has a steep button on it, but I never use it. I just unplug it and then I let it sit, and that's all the power that I need. 10 to 15 minutes later, I come back and my tea is fabulous. I don't like my tea hot. I like it at room temperature or refrigerated, like in the summertime. So once it's done, I'll stick it in the fridge and then I will drink it all day long. But I drink this much every day. Now there's some other ways to do the tea, right? You've got these little bags, or this is one, because I don't like the disposable stuff, but they totally work. Or there's this little tea strainer bag and you can put it in there. Or this one's kind of a fun one. This has mulberry leaves in it right now and it's just steeping. It's a little glass one that I can use in the microwave. This one's for on the go. You put your hot water in there and then you put your leaves in here and you can go anywhere with it. This isn't just for tea. I can use this all kinds of different ways. I can put this in eggs in a frittata, right? I can put it in soups or any way that I might use like kale or spinach in my cooking, fried rice. You'll be amazed. Once you learn the taste of mulberry leaf, you might like it as much as I do. The most valuable harvest isn't always the obvious. It might be something like these mulberry leaves. A mulberry tree is great for shade. It's great for wildlife. It's beautiful. And who knew you could get 100 cups of tea or more from it every single year. Now I encourage you to follow Jar It Up July, because every jar of food that you have on your shelf makes you that much more resilient. And when I can grow it in my garden, I know what's in this. I know exactly what's in this. It hasn't been sprayed with anything. It's just good, clean nutrition and delicious. So do you know what mulberry pairs really well with in a tea? Elderberry flowers, chamomile, lemon balm, and mint. All preserved from my garden. What is your favorite homegrown herbal tea? What is it that we might be missing in our gardens, like mulberry leaves that make a fantastic tea? Put it in the comments. I would love to hear from you, and spend some time this July jarring it up, because every bottle that you have on your shelf makes you that much more resilient. Hey, thanks for joining me in my garden.